Attorney Topacio?
Yes, oo. Kasi alam nyo, ito ang kinakataka ko eh. Nagulat ako. Kasi kami naman nag-cooperate. Diba sabi ko, out of respect to the institution, may sampida, pumunta kami. Ang gusto po nilang gawin, ibukod ng isa-isa sa kanya-kanyang mga kwarto ang bawat isang subject ng sampina at tanungin. Hindi po pwede yun. Now we are trying to get statements na maaaring self-incriminatory. Maaari kasi I insist, wala kaming tinatago. That papasok na yung right to remain silent dyan. Kasi, with respect to the Marines, ayoko naman pangunahan si Atty. Baligot. Pero yung sinasabi nila, with all due respect to our NBI friends, na hindi daw custodial interrogation yon, titignan daw nila yung credibility. Kung sabihin nila hindi credible, is that not a crime of perjury na sasabihin nila? Di ba? Kaya very suspicious po ito and very alarming itong ginagawa nila. Na isasabihin nila, i-interviewin nila isa-isa.
Why is Attorney Topacio against the idea of the 18 ex-Marines undergoing one-on-one interviews with the NBI? Ito ang tanong na umiikot ngayon. But if we look at it from the perspective of legal procedure and investigative practice, there's a very clear reason kung bakit gusto itong gawin ng NBI. And to be honest, this is actually a very normal part of any serious investigation. Let's start with something basic about affidavits. May mga pagkakataon kasi na ang affidavit ay tinatawag na canned or scripted. Ibig sabihin, pare-pareho ang wording, pare-pareho ang phrasing, at halos identical ang observations ng mga nag-execute nito. Now imagine this, a joint affidavit executed by 18 different people. It's quite unlikely na 18 individuals would have exactly the same observations, in the exact same language about so many details of a complex event. Hindi naman kasi ganyan gumagana ang human memory. Each person usually remembers events a little differently. That is precisely why the NBI wants to interview them individually, not to intimidate them, but to test the credibility of their statements. Now, some people are calling the NBI investigation a fishing expedition. But legally speaking, that's not accurate. What the NBI is doing is called a case build-up. Ito yung proseso where investigators gather, verify, and strengthen the evidence first before even summoning the persons being accused. Hindi pwedeng ipatawag agad ang mga inaakusahan kung wala pang solid basis ang allegations. Investigators first need to determine whether the witness's story is consistent, credible, and airtight. Because if the narrative is already full of holes at the investigation stage, chances are it will not even meet the standard of evidence required by the Office of the Ombudsman or the Department of Justice. Another argument raised by Ferdinand Topacio is that the accused should be the ones questioned first. But legally speaking, baligtad ang logic na yon. In criminal law, the burden of proof lies on the accuser, not on the accused. Ibig sabihin, the 18 ex-Marines must first substantiate their allegations. At this stage of the investigation, the accused are not yet required to explain anything, unless the NBI first determines that there is sufficient evidence to justify the filing of a case. Topacio also mentioned that the 18 ex-Marines supposedly have the right to remain silent, but this needs clarification. The right to remain silent typically applies when a person is under arrest, under custodial investigation, or already accused in a criminal case. Doon nag-a-apply ang constitutional protection against self-incrimination. But in this situation, the 18 ex-Marines are not under arrest, and they are not the accused. They are complainants, people who voluntarily brought allegations before the authorities. So the purpose of the interview is not to force them to confess to a crime, but simply to clarify and verify the allegations they themselves made. And testing the credibility of complainants is actually standard procedure in investigative bodies like the National Bureau of Investigation. Hindi pwedeng basta tanggapin ng investigators ang isang affidavit as gospel truth. They have to scrutinize it, break down the details, and check whether the story holds up under questioning. That's exactly why individual interviews are important. Kapag sabay-sabay ang mga testigo, sometimes their narratives can unintentionally reinforce each other. But when they are interviewed separately, investigators can determine whether the details really come from personal knowledge or whether they came from a collectively discussed narrative. Another misconception that's being circulated is this, na kapag sinabi ng NBI na hindi credible ang statements, automatic daw na magiging perjury na iyon. But that's not how perjury works. For perjury to exist, it must be proven that a person knowingly and willfully made a false statement under oath about a material matter. In other words, kailangan mapatunayan na alam niyang mali ang sinabi niya, pero sinabi pa rin niya ito bilang katotohanan under oath. But if a statement is simply not credible or inconsistent or unsupported by evidence, that does not automatically make it perjury. Minsan ang problema ay memory gaps, misinterpretation, exaggeration, or simply lack of corroborating evidence. And that is exactly why investigations exist, to separate what is true from what merely sounds convincing. To be fair, this could have been the perfect opportunity for the 18 ex-Marines to prove that their allegations about the supposed mali-malitang pera are real. But the question now being asked is simple. If the story is true, why refuse the one-on-one interview? In legal strategy, there is a simple principle. If a narrative cannot withstand proper vetting, then it probably cannot withstand serious scrutiny. Kung totoo ang kwento, it should be able to stand on its own even under tough questioning. That is precisely why investigations exist. And remember this, if the case ever reaches court, the witnesses will not testify as a group. Hindi pwedeng koros ang sagot sa korte. Each witness will take the stand one at a time. Each of them will answer questions individually, and each of them will face cross-examination by the defense. Doon talaga nasusubok kung solid ang kwento o kung guguhoy ito sa ilalim ng matinding pagtatanong. So if each witness cannot stand on his own feet even before the National Bureau of Investigation, what will happen when the case finally reaches the courtroom? Because at the end of the day, one thing remains true. The truth does not need a chorus. It can stand on its own. So yan lang po ang nais kong ibahagi today, and see you in my next video. Maraming salamat po.